I think if I hear you call me Becky one more time, six-pack, I'm gonna pop your tops. All six of them.
Who are you?
Showtime.
Everyone loves Beetlejuice. Hilarious. A much bigger gut-buster than Ghostbusters, declares the Village Voice. An uproarious ghost comedy. Nothing like it since Ghostbusters, says the Los Angeles Times.
This is amazing.
Thank you.
And USA Today calls Beetlejuice original, imaginative, and crowd-pleasing. Michael Keaton is
I'm the ghost with most, babe.
Beetlejuice, rated PG. Now playing at a theater near you.
Hey, this is Matt once again. Welcome back to another video, and there's another paid request, this time from Julie Evans. For those interested in requesting any other type of videos or topics, reactions, feel free to request them. Send them either directly to my PayPal or join my Patreon. Both links are down below in the info box. And Julie wanted me to talk about Beetlejuice from 1988. Now, Beetlejuice to me is a classic. It's one of Tim Burton's best films. Easily in my top 5. My favorite Tim Burton films is probably Ed Wood or Sleepy Hollow, but this is up there. This is very imaginative, and at this time Tim Burton had really only done Pee-wee's Big Adventure, and that was successful. And then, okay, studios love his success. What more can we give this guy to do? The original script for this film was a much darker movie and not as comedic. And Beetlejuice, that it was a character that, if I understand the original script, he was a Middle Eastern guy, but then returned to a creature, and he didn't do pranks. He would really try to kill people, maybe even did kill people, and he wanted to have sex with the girl Lydia, not get married. And like I said, it was a much more darker, violent film. But then they said, nah, this isn't going to work. And in retrospect, I thought it was for the better. I think the comedy, the feel of the film, of Tim Burton, the imagery, the visual aesthetic he brought to it, really makes the film stand out, especially at the time it was made. And it still holds up to this day. Yeah, some of the effects are not perfect. But I swear, even Tim Burton said at one point, that was one of the things he was doing on purpose. That, yeah, some of the effects aren't going to look perfect. That's kind of the deal, because he loved films of back in the day that the effects aren't 100% authentic. But there's still some pretty decent stuff, too. There's a lot of solid makeup. When they're in the Netherworld, them being Alec, Baldwin, and Geena Davis's characters, and you have the guy that's been flattened. He talks to them, then he leaves through this slot in the wall. At the end, with the marriage, there's the guy who is the minister, or the preacher, whatever, ready to get him married, and I don't know even what you call that creature. It's like a dried up alien or something. Oh, the waiting room. The creations in the waiting room. Like I said, there's some really solid makeup effects. I guess what I mean by there's a point where the ghosts, when they walk out of their house, they're in another world, and you have the sandworms. Like, that other world, you could tell it's them not really in a real setting. The sandworms are fun to look at, but, like, the environment that they're in, it's not photorealistic. But I guess I should talk about the story of the film. It's Alec Baldwin and Geena Davis as a couple. They're happy at their home. This woman tries to get them to sell it, but they don't want to sell. They have this big model of the town in the attic. They decide to go into town one day. They're coming back. They miss a dog, but sadly they fall into the water from the bridge. And what another interesting thing is the way it portrays death, where time is not consistent, where immediately they're at home and then they go, wait a minute, how did we get here? And then Alec Baldwin walks out. He's in that sand dune, sandworm world. Boom, it took like 30 seconds for him, but Geena Davis goes, you've been gone for 2 hours. What? And of course they realize they're dead. People are moving into their home. Jeffrey Jones, which, in retrospect, it's sad that he's in the movie because he's a fucking sick pedophile. Piece of shit. It's fine if he's a villain in the movie, like Ferris Bueller's Day Off, but I hope Beetlejuice kills his ass. Sick fuck. But you also have Catherine O'Hara, who's the mom in Home Alone. She's a lot of fun. When she yells at Jeffrey Jones and talks about how, I need to decorate this house. Oh, I will go insane. I will take you with me. And then the daughter is Winona Ryder. Very young Winona Ryder, who's a very goth chick. Always talking about death and dark, and her whole life is one big dark room. In other words, a girl great at parties. And pretty much Geena Davis out of Baldwin want to get these people out of their home because they don't want these people changing everything in it. They try to get help, but then also they try to get help from Beetlejuice. Say the name 3 times, and you have Michael Keaton. Now, what's interesting when you watch the film again, for what I understand, Michael Keaton, playing the title character, he's in the film for like 17 minutes total. When you watch the flick, that's understandable. And the fact of, okay, I buy that, because he doesn't pop up for a while. And maybe you hear his voice reading a newspaper, and he's not in the film a lot. But it really further showcases Michael Keaton's talent, that he took a character that's on screen for a little over 15 minutes. Like, again, like 17 minutes, I believe, is the number I saw. But he makes a big impression. He makes a humongous impression each time he's on screen. With the dialogue he's given, I'm the ghost with the most, baby. Or, I'll possess myself if I gotta. Or, yes, you said my name 3 times. Okay, who do I have to kill? You don't have to kill everybody. Oh, okay. Oh, am I qualified? Well, let's see. I've seen Exorcist 167 times. It gets funnier each time you see it. Nice fucking model. Again, he really does make an impression. I love the makeup of Beetlejuice. I love the striped black and white suit. And just the way he delivers the dialogue with gusto. And he's just so in love with the part. It's an actor in love with the part. And for what I understand, this is Michael Keaton's favorite role. Again, apparently it's his favorite role. That's one of the reasons why there was a sequel Tim Burton wanted to do, Beetlejuice Goes Hawaiian. And I'm like, really? Goes Hawaiian? Must we go tropical? Hawaiian? But Michael Keaton and Winona Ryder, they were willing to come back to work with Tim Burton. Even though the idea was fucking stupid. Like, of all the ideas for a Beetlejuice sequel, Beetlejuice, Hawaii? That sounds like a shitty direct-to-video film. Like, what the Christmas Vacation 2, Cousin Eddie's Resort, whatever the fuck it was called. That's what it sounds like. And they were on an island too. And that's, so when I see the words Beetlejuice Goes Hawaii, I think of Christmas Vacation 2 with Randy Quaid. The film goes at a fast pace. It's only 90-some minutes long. Danny Elfman does one of his best scores. I mean, this is a score that is so memorable that so many trailers, so many movie trailers would use the main theme throughout the various years in their marketing. And I also love, even the very beginning, I love when they do the Deo, Deo, he's a Deo. And then they turn into like a creepy version of it, leading up to the main theme. Da, 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 do, 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 do. I did various movie trailers throughout the years, especially after this film came out, I would use that. Usually if it's a more comedic film or weird dark comedy film. And the creativity. This is one of those movies that's nice to witness for its creativity. You know, the idea of the hand put for the recently deceased. Deceased. Nice little effects. For example, Geena Davis that falls in almost to the fireplace, and then she realizes that each of her fingers has a little fire on it. That was a cool effect. One I have never noticed to this day, and it was actually kind of cool to find this out. Their caseworker, this older lady who was smoking, I never realized, this is how stupid I am, I never realized that this was slit and open, so as she smokes, the smoke comes out of here. I don't know why I never noticed that before. There's so much smoke, I just assume it's from her, and I just looked at the faces, but I didn't. When she's talking with the couple, I notice especially when they come back and they realize this is their house because everything's been changed, and then she appears and she's talking with them, and she's the one who warns them, don't talk to Beetlejuice, don't even say his name. I'm like, what the fuck was her neck? Holy shit, her neck is slit open. That's how she died, and just all this smoke is coming out. I never noticed that before. So I thought that was really cool. So even to this day, I'm noticing stuff. In the waiting room, you have the woman cut in half. You have the voodoo pinhead result. I would say he was my favorite look-wise. It just looked so cool. Like when Geena Davis sits down, and without saying a word, the guy just looks at her. Geena Davis like, and Alec Baldwin and Geena Davis do a good job playing a normal couple in this extraordinary situation, trying to figure out what the hell to do next. And very likable, easy to root for. Winona Ryder, yeah, she's playing a goth chick, and nothing wrong with goth chicks. In fact, I think goth chicks are hot. I said it. Not her, because she's too young. You gotta be over 18, and you gotta be clean, and you gotta be alive. Those are requirements for me. Otherwise, fucking Jeffrey Jones. Jeffrey Jones, it's not Tim Burton's fault. It's no one else's fault, but that pedophile ass, punch him in the face anytime I saw him on screen. Just like, you know. That's violent. You know what? Fine, I'm a violent guy. What can I see? I see a pedo, fucking whack-a-mole. Anyway, calm down, Matt. But I was saying, I like goth ladies. Especially 20, 30 years old. Call me. But seriously, I am being serious. But also seriously, like I said, Beetlejuice, when he's on screen, he's very memorable. And they make each scene of him memorable. Doing the head spin. Don't you hate when that happens? Or when he's put back and they leave him and he's in the model and he kicks down the tree. Nice fucking model. And they get away with a lot. And this was rated PG. I have no idea how they did not get a PG-13. Unless I read it wrong, maybe it is PG-13, but I swear I read it was PG. Yeah, maybe I'm wrong. I mean, it would make sense if it was PG-13. He says fuck in the movie. There's a point where when they're trying to steer the humans, the alive people, but they can't see them. So like Geena Davis takes off her face, and or at one point she's holding Alec Baldwin's head, who's been cut off, but again they can't see him. That's pretty violent. So I'm like, again, is this PG-13? Is this really PG? Am I reading this wrong? I've seen rated R films more tame than this. Another scene is the Deo saying the song by Harry Belafonte. Eastside Pullman, you wanna go home? East a day. You know, making the people at the party dance in order to try to steer them off. But instead they get excited. Wow, we got ghosts. Oh, right. How do we capitalize on this? Which honestly was the more realistic reaction. In a way. Where because they didn't get hurt. They didn't get... They were made to dance. Because our leads don't really want them to get hurt or anything. Just want them to leave. Which makes the lead characters even more endearing. But the Deo scene, that's a very entertaining. Because you also have Dick Cavett, who was a talk show host. He had a bit role in Elm Street 3, interviewing Zsa Zsa Gabor. You also have Robert Goulet, the singer. He was in that. I forget the actor's name who played Otho, the interior decorator who's good friends with Catherine O'Hara. Sadly, that actor has passed away, but I thought he did a good job in this for the type of role he's made to play. And there are some pretty good effects. I like the snake creature when Beetlejuice tries to steer him off. I like the look of the snake creature. I think was a stop motion they used. Yeah, it was fun. Like I said, some entertaining lines of dialogue. Go ahead, make my millennium. Even when you get to the third act, it still has the great creativity. Was okay, he's going to marry Winona Ryder, and part of me is like, how old is Winona Ryder in this? Is she like 17? So I guess Beetlejuice don't even fuck about that. But the creativity, like they're trying to say his name, and he puts a zipper on Geena Davis, then puts like a metal plate, and like I said, the imagination, the creativity, this is the Tim Burton I miss. Not the bullshit with Alice in Wonderland and Dark Shadows and all this crap he does today. Maybe because it's the usage of CGI just made him... And you have that power to do anything, and that's the big problem. I think limitations create... limitations can help creativity. But when you have everything on your plate, you have everything at the tip of your fingers... that hurts creativity. That negates creativity. Just why do you need to be creative in the fact of, would you do this, 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 there you go? I don't know, just because you're able to do everything doesn't mean you should do everything. Maybe, I don't know if that made sense to anyone. But here, the cast works well, the look of the film, the creativity, when they're in the other world and the different... like the skeletons working at the desk and the weird shaped rooms they're walking through. Again, the look of the sandworms. This is the score by Danny Elfman, the cast. And in particular, Michael Keaton. Michael Keaton steals the show. And I would love to see more of him. But it makes sense the screen time he's in this for. But again, he's so good, is like, I want to see more of him. I would like to have seen a sequel. Not him going to fucking Hawaii. But it's funny, there's a cartoon of this. Lasted... I don't know if it's 3-4 years. I don't remember the exact amount of episodes they made. it was always strange that cartoon that made him, he was the hero. And he was friends with Lydia. So it doesn't follow the movie, which kind of a bummer. But I guess if you don't make a cartoon of Beetlejuice, how do you follow the movie? Because in the movie, he's kind of the villain. Which, again, I thought it was always weird they don't make a cartoon on Beetlejuice, who's the villain of the movie, try to forcefully marry Lydia, who's underage. But then the cartoon, oh, Beetlejuice is best friends with Lydia, and they're going through all these adventures together. And you don't have Alec Baldwin, you don't have Geena Davis's character in it at all. It's a very strange cartoon in that aspect. And I think I saw the first episode, because like, how are they going to work this into it? Oh, they just ignore it. It doesn't have much to do with the movie. I'm like, oh, so that's how they do it. Okay. I actually would have liked to have seen how the hell they would have worked that in, but no, we'll just ignore shit and change it, and almost like a reboot. Really, like the cartoon's like a reboot of the movie. So, and Michael Keaton wasn't doing voiceover, but it would have been nice to hear Michael Keaton's voice in that. Like I say, it would have been nice to see him play the role again, not fucking him going to Hawaii. All the episodes in the cartoon, I'm sure there are episodes on that you could make into a movie. But with that said, again, I don't really have much problems with it. Jeffrey Jones being in it, but that's not the movie's fault. They didn't know. They're not psychic. Other than that, yeah, I don't have issues with it. Like I said, I would love to have seen Michael Keaton more, just because I'm a fan, and I love the character. But at the same time, when he pops up, it's very memorable. So I don't know. Maybe if he had more screen time, it would lose that effect. I don't know. I don't think that'd be likely, but maybe. So yeah, Beetlejuice. I don't know why this does not have a special edition Blu-ray. It makes no sense. This is a time when Warner Bros. Was given 2-disc special editions to Batman and Robin. Batman and Robin 2-disc special edition DVD. But then when Beetlejuice got a collector's edition, or anniversary, they call it anniversary editions, it had like 3 episodes of the cartoon. Oh, and you can listen to the score without sound effects. No interviews, no commentaries. Everyone involved with the film seems like they're proud of the film. They enjoy the film. They enjoy working on the film. It's Michael Keaton's favorite role. Why don't they do one of these? You know how they do these reunions? Why don't they do a Beetlejuice reunion? Like even Josh Gad, he does those things where they get people on Skype. Yeah, no one uses Skype anymore. But what the hell you call it? I never use it, so I don't even know what it's called now. Someone will say in the comments. But what Josh Gad does, why don't you just do that? Do a Beetlejuice. You get Geena Davis, you get Michael Keaton, you get Tim Burton, you get even Alec Baldwin, Catherine O'Hara. I hate to say it, now that I think about it, I wonder one of the reasons they don't do that is because Jeffrey Jones' name would pop up. And, people, they worked with the guy, and then they found out the guy's a pedo. Will that come into play? That conversation? Is that one of the reasons why they didn't do a special edition? Because that would pop up and people be weirded out? I don't know. I mean, that's the only... Well, the studio being lazy. That's why they didn't do a special edition, which is the most likely. Or the Jeffrey Jones thing, which if that's the case, I'm like, I get it, but just don't talk about him, ignore him, and talk about your experience. But like Catherine O'Hara, most of her scenes were with Jeffrey Jones, so it'd be hard to her to talk about. But at least Geena Davis, Alec Baldwin, Tim Burton, Michael Keaton working together, the script, the effects guys to talk about the film. So there's still no excuse. The effects guys to talk about how they did the effects. All this other stuff to talk about how they did the film. Geena Davis, how was it working with Tim Burton? How was it working with Michael Keaton? How was it working with... Didn't Geena Davis work with Michael Keaton at the end? Maybe not. I'm trying to remember now. Yeah. I can't remember. But anyway. Beetlejuice. Put a fucking special edition in the movie. It deserves it. But with that said, classic film. Like I said, I don't really find much wrong with it. I had this open so I don't forget certain names and certain numbers. So I'm not bubbling around for 10 minutes. Looking up on the internet. With that said, it's a classic. Beetlejuice is a classic, still holds up to this day. I still admire its imagination and creativity, and Michael Keaton rocks. It's easily one of his most fun roles. I'm the ghost with the most, baby. I'm the ghost with the most, babe. Make my millennium. I'll see you guys later. Bye-bye.